Hello, everybody. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me just, yeah, there we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Kobold Chats. My name is Kendo, whichever you prefer, and it's Friday once more. We're here hanging out together. It's the end of our week, the middle of our day. Maybe you're at home just hanging out. Maybe you're on your lunch break, or maybe you're watching this while you're work. And you know what? If so, that's okay. I'm not going to tell anyone. And also, it should be fine. We're not doing nothing bad here. We're just here talking about my favorite thing in the world, Kobold Press, and all of the fun ttrpg stuff that, we've got going on just for you. Hope you're all doing all right. It's been a very busy week over here as we prep for Kobold Con, as well as the launch of the BACKERKIT for RIVERBANK, which, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself because, that's kind of what we're going to be talking about a little bit today. While also, we'll go over that. We'll read some stuff from the blog, because I love the blog. And then we're also going to take a look at one of the newer PDFs that we released for it's the Lady of White Rose Manor, which is, I think, really cool because I love killing vampires, and I hope you do too. So, yeah, let's just get right on into it, shall we? Let me just take you on over here. All right, so first and foremost, as I said, first we're talking about the RIVERBANK BACKERKIT. We're still in the phase where you can go and get notified. I'm gonna go ahead and put this link on in the chats. RIVERBANK is our cozy little RPG that we're making, full of being these animal people in an Edwardian England, getting up to some whimsy, some chaos, some shenanigans. It's been written and designed by the award-winning Kij Johnson, writer of the RIVERBANK novel, which obviously this game is getting its name from and getting its inspiration from. If you don't know what the RIVERBANK is, it's because I had to learn about it obviously in going through this. Is that it's a sequel to Wind in the Willows, which I didn't know there was a sequel to Wind in the Willows. So I think that's cool, and apparently a bunch of people liked it enough to give Kij an award for it. So I think maybe it's worth it. But yeah, so this the RIVERBANK game, you'll be playing animals in Edwardian England, getting up to some shenanigans, and truly, I cannot tell you more than that as of this moment, because we still got some days left before this this BACKERKIT goes live. So if you haven't already signed up to be notified for when it does launch, head on over and do that. The link, as I said, I just put it in the chat, so you can go find it over there. And so, because that's all I really have to... okay. Before, look at these cute little guys. Can I zoom in on this? Hold on, let me zoom in on this if it'll let me. Look at these cute little guys. Look at you cute little guys. Look at that badger. Look at that badger. Look at that frog. She's going to a party. This squirrel, he's boating. This fox has tea. Come on, gang. It's mostly just, I don't know. It's just kind of cute and kind of fun. And I love it just for that more than anything else. And I also think it'll be, there's more. Oh, there's more down here. Look at this. Welcome to the enchanting world of RIVERBANK RPG, a cozy tabletop game from Kobold Press, created and written by the acclaimed Hugo and Nebula Award-winning Kij Johnson. Cozy up in a world of whimsy. In a RIVERBANK game, you join an intelligent society of anthropomorphic animals and enter their life of cake and tea time by the slow part of the river. Here, the charm of cottagecore meets the whimsy of sophisticated critters as they navigate the intricacies and often the bedlam of polite animal society. Elegant animals and curious quests. RIVERBANK is a game. Hi, hello, Game Master Luna. Welcome. We're talking RIVERBANK, which is the new cozy RPG. Coming here from us, here at Kobold Press, which, again, It's so good. It's so very good. Give me 1 second. I'm just retweeting a little promo post for this. Let's go. Is there no link in here? Hold on. Give me 1 second as I fix something. And then if I were to, man, I love having to fix things on the fly, you know. I love having to fix stuff on the fly. Kobold Press. Okay, there we go. That's all I needed. But yeah, this is so cool. Okay, so Elegant Animals and Curious Quests. Riverbank is a game about role-playing, where your character's choices directly impact the narrative. Weave farcical and dramatic tales of elegant characters on curious quests as you celebrate friendships, navigate social niceties, and weather the unique dynamics of animal life. Attend tea parties, stroll through gardens, dance at fancy balls, and win the prize at the village fair, all while trying to dodge difficult relatives and keep a stiff upper lip. Tea, poetry, and total disaster. Kobold Press is putting down its shields and picking up some spats with RIVERBANK RPG. This brand new system is optimized for 3 to 5 players and use the standard dice, D4s, D6s, D12s, so on and so forth, to resolve player decisions while balancing the character's animality and poetry sides. Fall too far into one side or the other, and total disaster may follow. Grab your friends and get ready to dance a waltz of whimsy, hilarity, and a hint of drama in the cozy RIVERBANK RPG. Beautiful. I can't wait to try this. You can't wait to try it too, Violetta. I know. I can hear it in your meows. Do you want to be an animal in Edwardian England? I think the meow means yes. All right, so yeah, that's RIVERBANK. Head on over to the link either in the description of this YouTube VOD if you're watching that, or the YouTube description if you're watching live. And I've also put the link into all of the chats, so you can go check it out there. Next up, we have announced our charity for Kobold Con. So if you all joined us last year for Kobold Con, this will be the second year. It's our online convention where anybody can come out. We've got panels, we've got actual plays, we have organized plays so you all can play at home from the comfort of your own bed or desk or wherever it is that you play your games at home. And we're just going to hang out all weekend from March 28th all the way to March 28th all the way through March 28th through March 30th is where you can find us. You'll be able to find us on Twitch, on YouTube, in the Discord. We'll have a weekend of activities, giveaways, things of that nature for all of us to enjoy. And if you remember last year, if you bought anything from Kobold Press during that weekend or donated to our charity during, not our charity, but to the charity during our charity actual play last year, you'll know that a lot of the money that we are raising this weekend goes to a good, my brain kind of started there, goes to a good, oh gosh, my brain. Why can't I think of the word that I'm trying to think of? Goes to a good cause. There we go. Cause. Cause was the word I was looking for. And last year, Jesus, where is my brain? Okay. What I'm trying to say is that this year we have decided on our new charity, and it is Let's Quest. Let's Quest is, as you can see here over on the Kobold Press blog, which the link that I'm going to put in all of these chats over here. Let's Quest is actually, I'm just going to go to the website. I'm going to go to their website and let them talk about who they are, right? Welcome to Let's Quest. We are a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to supporting schools and library tabletop role-playing game programs by providing a treasure trove of resources and materials to educators, librarians, and facilitators. All services and materials provided are at no cost. At Let's Quest, we believe in the power of TTRPGs to inspire creativity, critical thinking, and community in young minds. That's right, everybody. We all... A decent portion of the proceeds that we will be raising over the course of the weekend as people buy stuff, and if you choose to donate directly to the funds of the charity that we will be donating, you will be helping the next generation of gamers by helping provide resources, books, tools, and all of that good stuff to librarians, schools, things of that nature. And in this period of time where students need these kind of resources, children need these kind of resources to help give them a sense of community. We've all found various groups, various communities through play, through finding new people. We've all built skills, built social skills, built problem solving skills. Like, games help children grow and help develop very, very vital things that they need as they get older and grow and things of that nature. But also, we could be helping set the foundation for a new generation of game designers, people who are going to make the games that we will be enjoying in the future. And also, it's just fun. It's a fun thing that we can do together. And so I really like Let's Quest because I wish that when I was in school, I had clubs or resources or things of that nature that would have gotten me into tabletop games earlier, rather than me having to figure it out myself like my junior year of high school and then kind of like stumbling through it. Like, I think I would have been much better off as a person if I had these kinds of clubs and activities and stuff. So I personally think it's really cool. And yeah, so if you go over to that blog that I just posted, you can see us talking a little bit more about it. But we will be having, as well as like all of like the like direct donations and buying stuff, we're going to have a charity actual play on the Sunday, the final day of Kobold Con, that you can just hang out, watch us play some Tales of the Valiant, and donate to a good cause. So you can get more information about that over on the Kobold Press blog. I've already sent the thing. And also, over on the Kobold Con website, which is now available. Look at that. I'm going to post this link as well. Yeah, this would be like great for like local library clubs. I have a dear friend of mine from college, who is an elementary school teacher, and he runs a tabletop game club. I think it's like specifically like a D&D club for some of the students there, and they love it because it gives them the chance to have fun and use their imaginations and work together and do good like be heroes. Like, this is such a cool thing. And so I love this. I love this, and we're so proud to be able to help support it this year, and I hope you all will be with us as we support it. And you can go onto the Kobold Con website where you can find out more information, about the Kobold Press Gaming Scholarship, which is what our charity donation is called. And then, the schedule is not up as of yet, but I believe by next week, the schedule should be live, so you can see everything that's going on next week, or not next week, during Kobold Con. So keep an eye on this website, and obviously we're going to talk about it later as well. So that is that on that. Awesome. Next up, we're going to check out the Kobold Press blog again, because you know how much I like the blog. Because if you don't know, which you should at this point, I think, basically every day we have some new blog content that comes out. It's just free resources, free monsters, adventures, like hooks, random tables, like basically anything. Especially if you love Midgard. Every Monday we have a Midgard blog that comes out for Midgard Mondays. And I think there's also a new day that we're doing stuff for the old Margrave as we get ready for that book to come out as well, which is really cool. But yesterday we had a fun blog that I love called Ye Old West. a genre exploration of Wild West fantasy storytelling and role-playing games, written by Evan Nunn or Noon. And I went to check this one out because I love Westerns. I love me a Western. I've been replaying through Red Dead Redemption 2 recently, so this is just in time. Ye Old West, a genre exploration of Wild West fantasy storytelling and role-playing games. A powerful way both players and GMs engage with TTRPGs is by emulating the tones, themes, and ideas of the stories and media they enjoy through their characters and campaigns. Though games such as the Tales of the Valiant role-playing game or D&D typically live in the genre of high fantasy, this is not hard-coded into the game. The rules provided in those systems are tools by which players and GMs can live out heroic fantasies or heroic stories, regardless of genre. With a little insight into what makes other genres so exciting and appealing, we can dress our high fantasy games into completely new genres while remaining true to the intent of the game. So grab your 6-shooters and dust off your boots as we explore different ways to bring the elements of the Wild West genre into your fantasy TTRPG experience. Wild West storytelling. Before we put on our cowboy hat of disguise and cast Power Word Howdy. Power Word Howdy is very funny, actually. Let's talk about why the Wild West genre is so compelling. Stories can thrive in any genre so long as we as storytellers can hone in on and implement the elements of the genre we are attempting to emulate, using them as tools to enhance our own narratives. The Wild West is more than just an aesthetic backdrop. It can tell powerful stories regardless of whether they are literally taking place in the Old West or not. Take Star Trek, for example. Even if squarely in science fiction property, it actually takes its storytelling structure from classic westerns, exploring new frontiers, facing moral dilemmas, and encountering new cultures are cornerstones of Star Trek and westerns. Here are a few standout elements of the Wild West storytelling that you can build upon to craft your own fantasy western. The core of a great western is the characters we follow through the story. The focus is on the individuals and their morals and actions rather than on abstract grand forces vying for control of the multiverse. These stories are rooted in personality, and the conflicts presented are very personal as a result. Take the classic 1993 Western Tombstone, for example. On the surface, the story revolves around a gang of outlaws threatening a small town. It's typical villainous action that GMs and players have dealt with in a game session before. The movie uses the structure as a framework to establish very personal conflicts and rivalries. Wyatt Earp, I'm going to assume I said that right. Wyatt Earp, the retired lawman, and his brothers, feeling the pressure of the outlaw gang and taking up the fight to save a small town they're looking to settle down in, and Doc Holliday and Johnny Ringo's deadly gunslinging rivalry are some examples. The conflict in a Western should focus more on the individuals rather than the larger entities. Rather than a conflict being a bandit gang against a town, specify leaders and characters. Maybe the conflict is a grudge between the bandit captain and the guard captain. Give them personality and motivation that go beyond law versus chaos. The bandits and guards under their command are simply how they fight one another in an effort to settle their personal conflict. When given the opportunity, take the time to identify individual characters with personal motivation related to the larger conflict. In the moral dilemma, GMs and players making choices are making choices all the time in games. It's a key element of RPGs, but a moral dilemma is more intricate. What makes a dilemma different from a regular choice is that in a dilemma, the alternatives you choose between are equally undesirable. Players of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt are no strangers to moral dilemmas. The game's opening act is a terrific example of one. At some point during the game's first act, Geralt of Rivia is forced to make a decision on whether to free or kill a trapped spirit. Freeing the spirit results in the destruction of a town and all the innocent people who live there, while killing it secures the safety of those people, but the children the spirit has kidnapped will die. There is no correct option. These types of choices make powerful moments in the story, as they can highlight a character's motivations and beliefs. What's right to one character may not be to another. This ties back into making stories focused on individuals rather than abstract forces. Gotta love finding, yeah, sometimes you just run into them and you gotta deal. The New Frontier. The name Wild West comes from the idea that venturing out into the unknown of the frontier will reveal strange, unexpected, or truly wild things. Our heroes are strangers in new places and must learn new customs, meet new people, and literally contend with the wild to stay alive and keep moving forward. This might sound surprising, but the real American West in frontier times was a diverse region with multiple cultures blending together. It wouldn't be that far-fetched for a frontier town to have Chinese, French, and Native American influences all at the same time. Being strangers in a strange land gives the players a unique perspective to enter conflicts that are already ongoing, allowing them to see with clearer eyes the forces and people at play. Conversely, this gives NPCs a unique opportunity to draw inferences about the players based on how they, as total strangers, comport themselves in the already existing cultural and power systems. Exploration is one of the key pillars of TTRPGs, and players can explore existing relationships and power dynamics just as much as they could a physical location. Thank you, Evan Noon. I couldn't agree more. I feel like my style of GMing has taken so much inspiration from westerns. I love a western, and especially I think the thing that is what's the word I'm looking for? Influenced me the most is probably Red Dead Redemption 2, and I say that because I have a history of running a lot of games where there's even pirate games that I've run. It's very much in the style of exploring people on the outskirts of what is considered civilized society, where the boundaries between law versus freedom, chaos, and all of those things are a little bit melded, and you get this really tight-knit group of people, right? Where if you think of Red Dead Redemption 2, where you have the Dutch the Vanderlyn gang is this group of 15, 20 people who all live together at camp. They all have these really well thought out and very intermeshed connections with each other. They all have opinions about each other person, and they interact with each other person very differently. And that doesn't mean they always agree with each other, but there is a thing that brings them together and something that delineates between us versus everyone else. And then using and pulling on those dynamics to get them to care about things, to get them to motivate to go on certain quests, or to take certain actions versus individuals. Not there is the larger scale stuff going on, right? There are big moves happening in the world, but the gang is mostly concerned on individual relationships, right? If you think of Dutch Vanderlyn versus the O'Driscolls, he has this very personal relationship with O'Driscoll that then the conflicts between the two gangs just become almost kind of symbolic for these two men having an issue with each other. But then that gets complex when you have a member of your gang who used to be an O'Driscoll, or other people who don't have the same kind of connection and have people die in their lives because of this man's relationship with the O'Driscolls. And so it's that kind of personal storytelling of like taking these larger things and larger conflicts and like bringing them down to the scale of, okay, why does this individual care about this thing and how is it going to affect the people around them? That builds like this complex web of like these social dynamics that's super fun to play with. Should have left Micah in jail. Let that man rot in jail. Me and my gang hate Micah. God, I hate that man. All right. But yeah, no, great blog. Thank you, Evan Noon. And don't forget, you can check out the Kobold Press blog whenever you want. There's a new one that came out today. I didn't see. Game Changer. Advice for new GMs. How do I bring kids into my game with adults? Ooh, this is fun. Especially I, as a person who I used to DM for high schoolers, middle schoolers and high schoolers like a couple of years ago. And playing games with kids can be a lot of fun. But we also had other other people who were like working at that camp that I was working at, adults who were playing it, and like seeing how they all intermingled together was really interesting, actually. So that might be a good blog I'll have to check out later. But yeah, we've got so much stuff over here. There's a design diary about Magnificence and Silver. Here's that Midgar Monday I was talking about. Oh, here's Tuesday. Yeah, Forestry Service. The Margreaved mercenaries and the... Oh. Well, I'm gonna have to check that out later. I'll put this link in here if you all are interested in that. I'll have to watch it later though, or read it later. That's pretty sick. Okay, cool. So that was that. Now we're gonna get into the real meat and potatoes. We're gonna be cracking open Lady of White Rose Manor. Which I talked about it a couple of weeks ago when this first came out, but just in case you all don't know, you can get this PDF over on the Kobold Press store for $4.99, and it's a 22-page adventure for characters of 5th to 10th level, I want to say. Yeah, level 5 to 10. And as always, everything that is for 5th edition also works with Tales of the Valiant because we designed it that way. So it works out for everybody. The village of Sulca lies in the grim shadow of a vampire mistress, the dread Lady Ilinca. Forced to pay a tax in blood for a perceived slight, the village dares to seek relief from the undead terror by hiring a band of intrepid heroes. That's where you come in. Lady of White Rose Manor is a 22-page 5e adventure set in the Cloudwall Mountains of Midgard, meaning you can drop it into your Midgard campaign or transplant White Rose Manor to your homebrew world. It's suitable for 4 to 5 characters of 5th level, and you'll explore the halls of White Rose Manor, fend off ghouls, ghost knights, lich hounds, and the Lady of White Rose herself, in a classic vampire hunt to liberate Sulca from its sanguine overlord. Prepare for an unforgettable battle against the creatures of the night with Lady of White Rose Manor. So, with that being said, let's take a look at it. Art. Do I have to say it every time I open up one of these? I don't, but I will keep saying it. Our art is great, and I love every bit of it. This cover, gorgeous. This guy? Who's this guy? He's evil. Who's this person? I assume also evil. They're all here to collect blood from these people. These poor people. You never want a vampire in your midst. They'll start taking everything. Your blood especially. So let's take a look at this. The designers, you don't, but please do. Right? It's the art. It's so good. Our art team. Beautiful. Understandable. Yeah. Like, it's like the art for the monsters, for the half pages, the singles. It's just, it gets me, it puts my brain into the mode of, I'm here. And it, like, there's, like, the art can be so inspiring of the tone of the individual characters. And, like, I'm constantly, like, whenever I'm like, okay, I need to describe this thing, I'm always looking back at the art to be able to pull some of those words, you know? This is a singular adventure. It goes from level 5 to 10. So it can go for a while. But yeah, this is a singular adventure that takes place within our Midgard setting. But as the copy has already said, you can put this into any game you want. If you are playing in the Midgard setting, there is a place for White Rose Manor to be. If you're not playing in it, you can put it in any mountain pass or range that may exist in your world, or wherever you want. I don't even think it has to be in the mountains. So let's get into it. Of course, there's all the beginning stuff here about, hey, how do you read this book? What's going on? Things of that nature, so on and so forth. So let's get into the background. At the foot of the northeastern Cloudwall Mountains, at the edge of the principality of Morgau and Doresh, a burgher in the village of Sulca did a brave and foolish thing. He saved a fellow villager from the predation of their new vampiric mistress, the Lady Ilinca, though thought to be a consort of the dreaded Shroud Eater known as the Bloodlord. I love when fantasy writers just start saying things. They just give titles to everything, and it makes me go, what? What's going on? Who's the Bloodlord? What's a Shroud Eater? I'm sure if I knew more of the Midgard lore, some of this would make sense to me. But even if I were putting this into my own game, now I'm like, oh, okay. Well, now my world has a Bloodlord. Got to figure out what that means. Oh, there's Shroud Eaters? Whatever that means. That's a cool thing I can put in my world now. You can always take bits and pieces from the adventures and supplements you're reading and take inspiration from them, because that's why they exist, and your games will be better for it, especially if you're very upfront with, hey, these are my inspirations and these are the things that really excite me about this. Your players can get excited about it with you because they then know what the thing is, if that makes sense. Just share things you love with your friends. That's all I'm saying. She swept down on the man as he hurried home one night, but she did not see the burgher watching through his window until he spoke out. He pleaded the man's usefulness to the town, and thus to her, Lady of White Rose Manor, begging her to spare him. The vampire asked if the burgher would volunteer to take the man's place, but by then he was so horrified that he'd spoken at all, he made no answer. Struck by the man's temerity, Ilinca thought briefly of killing them both, but she wished to make a point and vanished into the night. When the burgher awoke the next morning, he found his 3 children were missing. Certain they'd been killed, he was shocked to see them returned home the next evening by means of a coach, looking sickly and carrying a letter from the Lady Ilinca. The letter informed him that a large sum of blood marks had been withdrawn from the children, and that they would surely die if these drops were redeemed all at once. She left it up to the burgher to supply her with blood frequently enough that she shouldn't need to use the marks. However, as a final cruelty, she didn't inform him of how frequently she must feed, leaving that to his discretion. Oh, that's so good. Hold on, there's a bot in the Twitch chat that I'm gonna have to ban. Can I? Yeah. He's Yeah, there we go. I did it. Let's go. Goodbye, bot. Okay. Now, going back to this, man, that sucks. Yeah, she's not lawful good. There was I'm going to guess, yeah, I don't think she's lawful good either. Hey, that sucks. That sucks so bad. Pun not intended, but embraced. Man, sometimes you try to stop a vampire mistress from draining someone dead, and then she takes your kids and says, well, your kids are going to have to pay in blood unless you play in blood for me. Yikes. So is the burger sending the players to get eaten? Hopefully not, but I feel like that might be a potential. So the development. Since that time, I think I'm pronouncing this word right. The burger, the burgher, which is a citizen of a town or city, typically a member of the wealthy bourgeoisie. So this is like a rich man. Yeah, I said it right. Burger. Okay, cool. That's just what it is. I think it's probably similar to what, like burgomaster. Burgomaster. Oh, well, that's the mayor of a Dutch, Flemish, German, Austrian, or Swiss town. I don't know if they probably don't have the same root because they start with different names. So maybe, who's to say? So since that time, the burger has supplied Ilinca with victims. At first, he sought ways to extract. Hold on, wait. Let me make sure that this is more. So we can. There we go. There we go. Well, maybe not that zoomed in. Yeah, there we go. Since that time, the burger has supplied Ilinca with victims. At first, he sought ways to extract the blood personally, but that was an abysmal affair and nearly led to his death. Next, he spent what hard currency he had to acquire more blood marks to send up the hill to the lady's manor. This worked for a time, but just before he ran out of money, another letter arrived from the vampire. The letter informed him that the last drops he had sent been accidentally mixed up with those of his children. How Ilinca would regret redeeming them by mistake. Therefore, she supposed he should look to fresher sources to avoid tragedy. By now, the burger had kidnapped and delivered several men to the manor house. He hates what he's done and sees himself as lost, but he wishes to free his children. Enlisting the man he saved that night, he has reached out to a priestess of Lada, thought to live in hiding somewhere to the east, at the edge of the Ruthenian plain. This is continued. Okay. So he has been kidnapping people. And hey, man, that sucks. I know your children are in danger, but that sucks. What is a blood mark? That's what we're about to figure out really quick before we continue on, because I have no idea what that is. So blood marks. The main unit of coinage among the nobles of the principality is called a blood mark, commonly called a drop. A blood mark resembles a gold ring with a hole in the center that is a pledge of 1 pint of blood. Blood marks are rarely collected, but rather are exchanged among nobles of the realm as a way of measuring and maintaining the supply of available sources of blood. When redeemed, the blood magically disappears from the creature who pledged the token. 1 permanent constitution drain. Any person foolish enough to pledge more than a single blood mark might find them all redeemed at once, as such redemptions happen at great blood feasts on special occasions. Living creatures with sufficient constitution loss grow weak and die, and as some desperate peasants discover to their sorrow at the great feasts each year. Man, how many vampires are living around here where they have magical coinage in which they could just sap your blood away? That sucks so bad. Oh man, that sucks so bad. Nobody should be living here. Everyone should move. In my humble opinion, as a person who doesn't live in this region, leave. Go. Live somewhere else. This is like living. This sucks. This just sucks. They have a whole currency for extracting your blood. Don't pledge to them. I'm sure it's more complicated than that, I'm sure. But still, come on. Yikes. Okay. Getting the PCs involved. A priestess of Lada has gathered the PCs to ask their aid in saving children, a small village, and possibly a man's soul. The vampiric lady of the manor overlooking the town has taken a village's burghers' children hostage by way of drawing a large sum of blood marks from them. She uses this to make the man bring her living victims. He loathes himself for what he must do and wishes to end it. He begged the priestess for aid, offering to surrender himself to her justice, or promising to see it himself in exchange for someone exchange for sending someone to kill the Lady of White Rose Manor and take back the blood mark she holds on his children. This priestess will see to spiriting the children safely away from the town, but the manor house requires a team of daring heroes. That's where you come in. Oh man. Oh, okay. So getting to the, that's the hook in, right? Your PCs get involved because this priestess of Lada has brought them here and said, hey, there's this man. He has been kidnapping people and giving them to a vampire lady. But it's not entirely on him. The vampire lady is holding his children hostage by way of magically contracting a certain amount of blood from them that she is using then to do the thing. Please go kill her. Please go kill this lady. Gosh. Whew. Hey, young goals. Man. Oh, this whole ordeal. Ugh. This is the dark fantasy of Midgard, baby. So, part 1, the village of Sulca and the manor first floor. The tiny village of Sulca consists of several old, largely unadorned houses and a few essential businesses, all huddled together between several farms. It could only appear more unwelcoming were it under arms or on fire. What once might have been the village's only tavern now serves as a shelter for goats. There's a smithy, a farrier, a livery, but little else, and nothing to interest or accommodate a traveler. Absolutely nothing here would require anyone to be out and about in the evening. You probably wouldn't want to. There are vampires afoot. By day, the people of Sulca have little to say to strangers, and by night they don't open their doors. They tell anyone the name of their ruler, Lady Ilinca, and the name of her house, White Rose Manor. They do not speak of the Bloodlord, and they don't complain about anything. But the fear in their speech and look is palpable. They are pained by interactions with outsiders, afraid that it might draw unwanted attention. The village contains little of interest to the PCs unless they decide to steal horses. They would meet no resistance since the stable keeper leaves his padlock unlocked for fear of offending the nobility should they decide to take a horse. The livery is currently occupied by 3 old, sway-backed Kariv cart horses and a barely mature Morgau ghost horse. Huh? A ghost horse? Y'all got ghost horses just standing around? That's kind of cool. I want a ghost horse. Which is large enough to ride, but untrained for it. It's not trained to be ridden. Understood. A winding path leads up a hill to a stately manor. So, easy. You've already been told what you need to do. Come in here. Stop this lady. She sucks, literally. And we want her gone. But also, you get to the town and no one's going to talk bad about her. Why? Because maybe you're a spy. But also, maybe she's listening. And who would want to... Honestly, I wouldn't want to get on the bad side of the dread Lady Ilinca. She sucks. Literally, again. So, I want to check out this ghost horse really quick. This Morgau ghost horse. I know that there's tons of, like... I know horses and, like, the different kinds of horses are, like, kind of like a big deal in Midgard. I love that there are different, like, just different horse breeds that are just like, yeah, we've got this kind of horse. We got a Morgau ghost horse. We got everything you can need. Where's the ghost horse? There's a ghost knight of Morgau, Brother Vasily, Lavinia, priestess of Marina. Let's see. Come on, where's the ghost horse? Where's the ghost horse? Didn't it say it was in the appendix? Am I wrong? Oh, Morgau ghost horses. Here we go. It's down here. These horses are sometimes thought to be undead. They certainly look it, and flecked gray or all black with red eyes and white manes. However, a ghost horse is a living horse with an additional trait for incorporeal movement. With a successful DC 20 Wisdom animal handling check, a rider can urge a Morgao ghost horse to move through creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain. The horse and rider take 1d10 force damage if they end their turn inside of an object. The horse returns to corporeality. Corporeality. There we go. Corporeality on the rider's command. No action required. Or at the end of 3 rounds. Once used, a Morgao ghost horse can't use incorporeal movement again until the following dusk. Hey, that's sick. That's so cool. It's just a horse that can turn incorporeal. That's cool. That's just, I don't know, that's just cool. I want ghost horses in my games now. With a successful DC 20, man, you gotta be good at animal handling. Can urge the ghost horse to move through creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain. So can you move? I mean, I assume you can also move through it as well, based on the fact that you would take, it says you would take damage if you ended your turn inside of an object. So I imagine if you're riding one, you can also move through objects or people. That's pretty cool. That's pretty dope. DC 20 wisdom check, that's going to be hard to get unless, you know, you're very much trained for it. But that's pretty cool. I love that. Okay. What were we talking? We were reading. Okay, we're going to read this part about the. We're going to read up until. Is this the first room? It's about to start telling me about. Hold on, wait. You're about to start just telling me about the manor now? Okay, yeah. So this is a map of the manor. It's a good map. You go in here. Ooh. This is just the first floor. Oh man. This would also just be a good map for any hey, you need a manor? Boom. I'm getting big Death House vibes. It's not Death House at all. It's the vampires. I love Curse of Strahd. And so, like, I'm thinking, like, it's all this. This is cool. I love this. I'm not going to read obviously I'm not going to read all of this because I think you should get it yourself. But as you can see, there's a ton of different, let's look at some of the other monsters here. So we have a beggar ghoul, which I think is neat. So the beggar ghoul, this emaciated gray husk of a creature, wears rags and picks hungrily at a sliver of bone. It moves in a crouch so low that it's almost crawling, but its eyes glow like flickering coals, and it exudes a desperate ferocity with each raspy, rot-fouled breath. Most citizens of the Ghoul Empire are not Darkul, but lesser strains of ghouls in gas. Oh yeah, there's a Ghoul Empire in Midgard. If you're not familiar with I think the campaign is just called Empire of the Ghouls, which is super sick, and I really want to try it one day. Maybe one day. But yeah, that's just the thing that exists. Midgard is, I keep forgetting sometimes that Midgard is like dark fantasy to the degree of almost being horror at times. And then I start reading its lore and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. Things suck, like really bad actually. So most citizens of the Ghoul Empire are not Darkul, but lesser strains of ghouls and ghasts. Beggar ghouls are by far the weakest of those. Though they make up the majority of any military action involving the legions, they are employed as fodder, and the most wretched of them are barely suitable for even that. They eke out miserable livings by scrounging for food near their surface or by begging in the ghoul cities. They are withered and deprived, thin and emaciated even for undead. Beggar ghouls are shriveled versions of their standard cousins, little more than flesh-covered skeletons. While some beggar ghouls spend their entire existence in undeath as this weak strain, at least a few were once stronger ghouls who withered when they were trapped far from sources of flesh. Others were exiled from the Empire without the resources to fend for themselves. Look at this guy. You need to eat, bud. You need to get some food in you. You need to get some food. Okay. The Beggar Ghoul. It's chaotic evil, medium undead, an AC of 12. You gotta get your food in you. AC of 12, hit points of 13, and speed of 30. And don't forget that that by default, this is technically a 5th edition, not specifically Tales of the Valiant adventure. So you're going to see a lot of things that refer to 5e specific rules, but as stated before, and as you should already know, Tales of the Valiant is compatible with 5th edition. So all of this also works with Tales of the Valiant. So it's got a 10 strength, 15 dex, con of 10, intelligence of 12, wisdom of 11, and charisma of 14. It's immune to poison damage and immune to being charmed, exhausted, or poisoned. It's got 60 feet of dark vision and a passive perception of 10. It speaks common and undercommon and is a challenge rating of 1/2. It has pack tactics, which is fun. I love that. I don't know if do ghouls normally have pack tactics? I don't think so. The Beggar Ghoul has advantage on an attack roll against a creature if at least one other allied Beggar Ghoul is within 5 feet of the creature, and the ally isn't incapacitated. And a Beggar Ghoul that hits with its bite attack against a creature that hasn't acted yet and combat scores. In this combat, scores a critical hit. Ooh, basically an assassinate for a ghoul. That's fun. Its bite attack plus 4 to hit, reach of 5 feet, does 2d6 plus 2 piercing damage. Is Tales set in Midgard? Tales of the Valiant isn't set in Midgard. Midgard is a setting that exists within it, but Tales of the Valiant, I guess the core setting of Tales of the Valiant is technically the Labyrinth, which is our new setting book, which is coming out. It's already been kickstarted. You can go order it now. Before like the books are out and all of that good stuff. But with the labyrinth is basically this huge extra planar labyrinth that connects all of these different worlds and all of these different realms and factions and things of that nature. It is Midgard is one of the worlds. It's one of the core worlds, actually, if I'm being more specific. That is like there are like 10 core worlds that hold it together. Your world can be one of them. And Midgard is one of them. So it exists within the Tales of the Valiant canon, but it is not solely Tales of the Valiant isn't solely in Midgard, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, the Labyrinth is really, really cool. The full book isn't out yet. As of yet, but if you want to know a little bit about it, we have a PDF called Guide to the Labyrinth. Hold on, I'm pulling it up really quick. Let me pull this up. Oh, get this out of here. Yeah, no, 100%. And like, it's kind of built to be that way, where your world can be one of the core worlds. And then there's also 10,000 other worlds that exist within the Labyrinth, which is what makes it so cool, I think. Because if you wanted to do like a large scale, like realm hopping campaign, you 100% could. And there's all of these worlds within it that you could go check out and have your players look at. Or you can just have your world exist in it and also know that the factions of the Labyrinth, the people vying for like control over its different pathways and the different worlds, but also the Void, which is this like, the word I'm looking for. It is like this existential threat that is like slowly swallowing worlds in the Labyrinth is also like all of that can exist outside of your world slowly eking in, but it doesn't have to be the focus of it if you don't want it to be. Your world can just be one of the many worlds of the Labyrinth. It's super cool. But you can check out Guide to the Labyrinth, which just is like a very small kind of rundown of like the different factions at play, what's going on, and you know, and all of that, which will just be a great primer for before the book finally hits shelves, which shouldn't be that much further off, I don't believe. There's also a preview PDF if you want to check that out. I'll put the link in here for that as well, so you can check out what the full like Labyrinth world book is going to look like and the stuff that's in there. So check it out. It's super cool. Okay. Yeah, love to hear it. So yeah, bite attack 2d6 plus 2, average of 9 piercing damage. It's got a claw attack plus 4 to hit, 5 feet of reach, one target, 2d4 plus 2 slashing. If the target is a creature other than an elf or undead, it must succeed on a DC 10 Constitution saving throw or be paralyzed for 1 minute. Oh, this doesn't affect elves? That's interesting. A paralyzed target repeats the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself as a success. I love how much Midgard lore is kind of dispersed in here, because why doesn't this affect elves? I'm sure there's a reason, but why? Who's to say? Brother Vasily, Ghost Knight of Morgau. I'm sure if I read this will be some spoilers. Maybe. On the rise, many Ghost Knights of Morgau are living creatures who chose to join the ranks of the undead as a method of advancement. The knights begin as living men and women bound to the service of a vampire, necrophages, or priestess of Marina. If they provide good service for 5 or 10 years, they may be raised up into the ranks of the undead as a foot soldier of the Ghost Knights, roughly equivalent to a squire elsewhere. Oh, if you do 5 or 10 years, we'll make you a squire, is wild. Equipment for Ghost Knights is generally excellent and typically includes a warhorse, 2 lances, a red banner, a battle axe, a mace or longsword, and a tabard, displaying the insignia of the order. Knights are expected to provide their own armor. Brother Vasily, why? Why have you done this, Brother Vasily? There's that priestess of Marina. I bet she's the reason. Why? We got this cool bug guy. A Horka. Ugh, look at this guy. The Ink Devil? Ink Devil is wild. I don't like the look on his face. That's a little freak. That's a little freak who's got bad ideas. I don't like him. He's got a CR of 2. He'd probably kill me. Because I would be a commoner for sure. There it is. Okay, so that's just a little sneak peek, a little cracking open of Lady of White Rose Manor, which you can find over on the Kobold Press store for $4.99. I think it's pretty cool, and this adventure can take you from what, level 5 to 10, it said, or maybe it's like it's good for anywhere between level 5 and 10. Potentially is probably what it means, more so than this will get you 5 levels, or maybe it will. I'm unsure. Only you can find out if you go and read it. Yeah. This is so cool. And I we have all of these like $4.99, $3.99 adventures that are available over on the Kobold Press store, and you can just, even if you don't use it wholesale, there's so many cool ideas and things that you can pull from them and drop into your games, right? Like if you just wanted to take any of these, if you wanted to take Beggar Ghouls and put those into your games, you can. You don't need this, right? You don't have to use the whole thing. Or if you just wanted these maps, right? And like, oh, I love these maps, and like I love like how it's built out, and you just want this manor. You want this manor? Bam. Throw that into your game. Doesn't even have to be in Midgard. It could be wherever you want. Oh, you want to take this idea of blood marks and like feed that into your campaign and your world building? You 100% can. There's so many things here that you can just pick and choose or use all of it. Whatever works best for you in your game. So good. All right, gang. We're about to end it. So come on over here. Whew. It has been a good time here on Kobold Chats. Thank you so much for being here with me and talking about one of my favorite things, Kobold Press. if you haven't already checked it out, over on our YouTube channel, I released a video yesterday about that was me unboxing campaign builder Dungeons and Ruins and the Dungeons and Ruins map folio, taking a look through it, and then also peeking in to the chapter about building Dungeons and Ruins in it. It's a fun little video that I had a lot of fun making, and I want to do more unboxing videos. I have a box over here that's waiting for me to dig into. So best believe that. Oh wait, no, it wasn't that box. It's this one. I've got another box that I'm going to have to open. So it should be a lot of fun, and I hope you have a lot of fun watching it. It's just more time hanging out with me, talking about cool ttrpg stuff. So do with that what you will. You can find it over on our YouTube channel, which is just at Kobold Press. So go find it, as well as all of the past videos of Kobold Chats, the videos of Scouting Party, where we were looking through. Oh yeah, if you House of Toa, if you're interested in more information about the Labyrinth World book, we have a series on our YouTube channel called Scouting Party, where I talk about the books in the Kickstarters and things of that nature. So there's like a 3-4 episode little series where I'm talking with the designers, writers, and like the minds behind all of it, talking about the factions, different monsters, the character options, all of the stuff that's coming in the Labyrinth World book. So definitely go check that out. And I think that's all I've got for y'all today. I'll have some more information about Kobold Con next week, as well as I think there's a new PDF coming out next week as well. So we're gonna get into it. But thank you so much for being here, everyone. This has been wonderful. As you all know, I love hanging out with all of you. I love talking Kobold Press, and I love playing tabletop RPGs. So this is just a good mixture of all those things. All right. So I will see you all next week, same time, same channel. And don't forget to go out, be bold, be brave, be valiant. And we'll see you then. Peace out.